Hey guys, um, this is a reading I wanted to just do. I know it's kind of late, like technically today, or technically it would have been last night. Today, but when you went to bed last night for the Taurus full moon. Well, either way, today. So it's a little late, but not really. The energies last like somewhere between like most concentrated, strongly 3 days before, 3 days after, but it could be up to like a week or two after anyway. So it doesn't matter, but I'm going to do both. Like I have one spread pulled for about the Taurus full moon, and then I have another spread pulled for just some kind of heads up cards for Scorpio season. So, that's what we're going to do. So it looks like, oh, by the way, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you find this video really helped you, share the video, like it, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. I put out different types of videos. Thank you to everybody who has donated, participated, like, share, subscribed, services, all of that. Thank you so much for all of that. If you need information about private readings or looking at any of my services, how to reach me for my email address, my PayPal link, any of that, all the information is in the description box below. Okay? So, like, look at it. Because I find a lot of people somehow look at it and they find my email address, but then they don't look at any of the other information. But then they'll email me about the information. So it's all right there. So if you email me, that's fine. I'll still bring you to it and help you. But it's all in the description box below. Okay? So the energies I really feel for the Taurus full moon around there, which is funny because the energy on the bottom of the deck is the King of Pentacles. So, you know, here's your Taurus vibe. And I feel like it's in a way coming into some type of balance or some type of information or thought process that balances you with the Page of Swords. In coming to a judgment. Something you weren't seeing, you know, kind of trying to wake you up to really help you move on mentally, to get you mentally unstuck because it seemed like you were stuck because there was something that you weren't seeing. Just kind of like blinded or an illusion or whatever. Which really matches that because your first card starting out is the Hanged Man. So, you know, this is obviously seeing things from a different perspective, whatever. But what I see with this card is, you know, this technically is a fae or a fairy. You know, he's underwater holding his breath. And I think what you tend to realize during this time is that, like, he's really out of his element. Like, he's down there, he's going down there to see things, maybe even from the fish's point of view or something. And realizing that, you know, this is not sustainable. So he's putting himself in an uncomfortable situation in order to see things from a different point of view. So a lot of people may during this time be guided to put themselves in an uncomfortable situation to see things from a different point of view. And there's something, like, the look on his face is kind of worrying. I mean, probably besides the fact, I don't know how clear this is going to get, but besides the fact that he can't breathe. But maybe that he's really seeing something that this situation is not sustainable. Not at least right now or with the way it is. And making a decision. You know, I see with this card, like, allowing things to be released or to change in the wind. Like, there's, like, you can see his hair is kind of blowing. There's, you know, a fall, like a wind, a change in the wind coming. Like, he's making a decision to allow or let things change. And this is, to me, I think about, it's sad. It may be a little sad, and it might make you feel a little bit left out in the cold. You've got the Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles, which fives are very much also about change. Conflict too, but change. So you might decide to let go or make a decision about something that, and that might be why it's not sustainable. Like, you realize when you really look at it, you're like, this isn't really sustainable. This isn't a strong foundation, basically. And it might be something that usually makes you feel sad and left out in the cold. But you know, you kind of realize the reason for it. You know, the reason it was there too. I think not only do you decide to leave it, even if you don't know why, you leave it, but part of me with this Five of Cups really makes me realize that, you know, you realize, yeah, why it was there. You realize something about it, because the Fae's face is like, it's kind of smirky. Like, I don't know. Like, they figured out something. Whether it was the lesson in it, or whether... Because this card that came up about the mountain is not only about an obstacle, but it's also about like a powerful enemy or a foe. So you could realize that as much as you were trying to improve a situation or make something better, somebody themselves were constantly, their point of it was to keep the block there. It was to keep it apart. It was to keep it in a certain way. And they had certain mischievous plans about it for whatever it was. It was to keep you in a saddened state. It was to keep you feeling left out in the cold. But either way, there was a block to it, and you realized it. And this might have been about a love situation. It could be about different things. It doesn't matter. But either way, you realize, you put yourself in an uncomfortable... This is also what's in your mind. You've realized and put yourself in an uncomfortable situation in order to see something from a different point of view. You have made a decision because you realize that it just doesn't make you feel good and a change is needed. And maybe what you realize even is that this is a block to love, maybe even your own balance within yourself, or something that you do care about that's important to you, but that maybe even for some of you, this person was intentionally trying to keep things this way. They were trying to keep it blocked. They either didn't have your best interest at heart, their plans were going against yours, or they were just a type of enemy of some sort. But that doesn't matter. We don't need to go too far on that. What's more in your emotional space is you have the Seven of Wands. So, yeah, well, that makes sense now that I say all that. You're defensive now. Like, you've now realized something else that you want to put your time and energy into, and you're focused on growing that. This makes me want those candy corns. But I can't have those right now. But you're trying to protect that which you're growing and investing, and you're defensive against these outside sources. I don't know. But basically something that could come in and threaten what you've been putting together and what's important to you. And you're now on like this whole new path. And what you want, you feel like, okay, you're aligned again with what you're supposed to be doing. I don't know why, but I get like a Titanic vibe from this. Like she's at the end of the thing, and it's almost like the boat that's under the water with all the wreckage. I don't have to deal with that. I don't know. I don't know the deal with it, because when I look at this, and I've never looked at it before, but it does look like the Titanic thing when like they're standing at the end. It's almost like as the ship's under the sea, and it's like here's the end of the thing where they stand at, and under the water, here's the wreckage. It's not what it's supposed to be, but that's what it looks like to me for some reason. And so when I hear it, it's like I'll never let go. Like, you know, when she's like, I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go. You know, that I think it's a stupid moment, to be honest with you. She should have moved the hell over and let him on, but I don't know. Whatever. And so I'm like, because that's kind of confusing. And then when I pulled this card, it's like the moon. And he's sitting there waiting. 32. Cancer. Maybe it's that mentally you've moved on, or you've decided to do different things because you know that even if part of you emotionally is waiting for something, you've still got to mentally move forward. Because even with this, it's like with the moon, you feel like, oh, that's, you know, letting go. But there may be something that you really know. And this is more in a manifestation phase than a letting go phase. Yeah, I think emotionally you're not letting go. And you're holding on to that which you want or you find of value. Maybe trying to balance the situation, or you feel it brings you balance. Or you could be ending a cycle to that you've defended and tried to hold on to for so long, kind of telling yourself you'd never let go because it brought you balance. It's like it was your other half. It balanced you in a way. Tell me about the World card. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's what it is that you did put an ending to it. In it, emotionally, it was you putting an ending to something that you held on to and protected and defended for so long like it was dear to you, that you were trying to grow this situation, and you had this thing about you that was like, I will never let go. And you were waiting for it to manifest and bring good things and come together, and it was what you really wanted. It was like your other half of a situation. It was your light to your dark. It was your balance. It was your sun to your moon. You felt like it was the other part of you. It was like your peanut butter to your jelly, you know, that type of thing. And so at this point, your emotions are actually somewhat matching with your mental state. Now, what will come from this, or is likely to come from this, is you have the Hermit. So it's going to cause you to kind of retreat and go within and see things within. Kind of within you're going to go on a little journey and see things within, probably your subconscious. Like he's going down and finding like all these things that were in there that he didn't know was in there. Some cool, some not, some taking up space, some like, what the heck is that? Why is that in here? This needs to go, this needs to go, some just needs to be seen. And once you do that work, you come out with a lot better of an idea and realize more of what you want and what direction you want to go and what's important to you. But you're in a lot more of a receptive state. Like this King of Wands, like he's not taking a lot of action. And actually these candles on this tree have been burning for a long time. Like he's comfortable and he's getting comfortable. There's almost like an Empress vibe to this. Because there's something that you know. Because next to that is the Seer, which is the High Priestess. You've got the time thing here going on. Her learning information. So maybe... Tell me about the King of Wands. Tell me about the King of Wands. Something ended. So either you're the King of Wands and you're a lot better off because you ended all this. You kind of saw either the deceit, you saw the karmic lesson, you ended it and you cut it out. You stopped working on it. Tell me about the High Priestess. Which kind of put you back in your High Priestess receptive vibe. Gave you back stability. Maybe just learning about yourself. What is the time thing about? Waiting for luck and abundance. Or, you know, because what's ending this is the Ten of Cups. So this connection... Waiting for a balance to be achieved. Somebody was might have been putting in more work and effort than the other person. And you're realizing why, if you've been the one putting in a lot more work and effort, you're realizing why you've been doing it. And you're putting an end to that. And you're finding out what's important to you. And you're getting comfortable. This King of Wands and the High Priestess right next to each other, and this King of Wands is highly in a receptive state. I mean, his candles are burning for a long time. He's getting comfortable. He's not going anywhere. He's waiting on a new beginning. and doing new things and doing them differently. And this high priestess is learning not only about herself, but about the situation. She's waiting on time. She's waiting for things to change and for things to become more balanced and to either get what she wants in whatever way it comes, whether it's this situation that was let go of, whether it's somebody like I'm letting go of it and I'm going to do my thing, and if they reciprocate, we'll reevaluate the situation at that time. Maybe if you're the one who hasn't been putting in enough effort, then you're realizing now that maybe you need to, if it's something that you really want, because that's not really fair. You haven't been putting in a lot of effort. But I don't think it's you're waiting on balance, because this is what ends up happening. I think balance ends up being achieved because of what you do and what you learn. So this full moon in Taurus actually ends up being pretty productive. Things might actually become balanced, and then you get some type of message. Or this person or situation now puts in maybe a little bit more effort. Or somebody does that deserves it. But I think it could be you finding your value. And it's funny that the Queen of Pentacles is here and the King of Pentacles. Maybe what you do wakes somebody up besides just you. I mean, that'd be nice, but... And I think that one of the things that maybe you find when you go in this hermit mode is that what you've been valuing maybe hasn't been of that high vibration things. You're probably doing, I mean, obviously you're doing some shadow work. Like this guy's going down, almost like a tower meditation. And it's what they call it where you go down. And that you are in a lack mentality or a fear-based mentality in what you've been valuing. A lot of fear and negative energies and not focusing on what you have and what's really important to you. And it ends up leading to you finding what's in your heart and what's really important to you. Because it goes from door to value and envy to the heart chakra and the angel of strength. And both of those to me are very much about, you know, seeing what's really important, what you love, who really loves you, what does love really look like? Do you love yourself? Who really shows that they love you? Focusing on family, people, situations that care enough to give you an even give and take, that are there for you. And focusing on the things that are good for you and resisting the things, even if you have fears or addictions or temptations towards them, whether it's a, you know, pattern wise or lustful wise, sexuality or whatever, really now starting to find the things of value and that are good to you, and you being good to you. And if something comes up that you want to do that you know is not going to be good for you, you now have the strength to see it and resist it. This is very much a time of personal growth, emotional growth, emotional stability, discipline, growing up in a lot of ways. So I think that's pretty much where... Let's pull one of these. I'll pull one oracle card for the end of this, and then I'll move over to the Scorpio season reading. But that was pretty cool. I hope that's really the way it goes. I think that in a lot of ways is resonating with me. So I would say for me, I agree with that for the Taurus full moon. I mean, I don't know about the outcome. We'll see about that. What's cool about it to me is that, you know, especially as a Taurus, that the mind and the heart are finally seeming to be on the same page, which seems to be really good because the outcome, it seems to really have a beneficial result. You have becoming braver, resilience, experience, growing stronger, fresh perspective. Exactly like I said, like growing. Like this is helping you grow up and giving you a different perspective, allowing you to become stronger, like this angel of strength and the heart chakra. Let's see if we can get one more. Taurus full moon. Shine bright like a candle. You will make it through this. So it might be rough. I don't know if emotionally, you know, you've got to fight something off during this or whatever, but if it is rough for you during this time, you will make it through this. But this is something that's helping you and benefiting you. It might be a little anxious though, because it seems like you've been holding on to this for a while. So, if so, you know, there's no way you're gonna just boom, done. But especially too, because sometimes you could just boop and then go. And then some people, I know with me, I'll kind of do something and, you know, I'll kind of ride it for a little while and it's good. And then my blocks start to come up. And that's when it kind of starts to suck a little bit. And I think for me, a lot of times that's when I start to falter. I think that's when most people start to falter, is when they get over the high of making the decision. And kind of like the reality or their blocks or whatever starts to creep in. You know, the shadow or whatever really starts to surface. So just get through that. You know, you will get stronger. It will get better. It's not going to be an easy ride. You know, that's what makes patterns go away after a while, is working through them and working through the blocks. So don't just be like, oh yeah, I did it. And then like, you give into it a little bit later because it starts to get rough. Like, no, that's what creates a cycle. That's what keeps you stuck in the pattern. So, all right. So we're off Taurus full moon. Let's go to Scorpio season. Just technically already Scorpio season. Scorpio season runs from October 23rd until November 21st. FYI. Where it starts out, well, the underneath energy is Five of Pentacles. Which you might still be in this Five of Pentacles energy from letting go of what you let go of from this Taurus full moon. It's like, you know, again, like you cut away a possible new beginning because you determined it wasn't good for you and balance was needed, and you made that decision because you wanted emotional balance. You wanted to expand your mind, expand your spirituality, and you wanted to be happy. There is some type of tower moment that comes along with that, you know, which is a Scorpio energy. And again, you have the King of Cups, which is a Scorpio energy. There might be a lot of overindulging with people, so watch your drinking. If there's a lot of drinking, alcohol, drugs, overeating, maybe even overindulging in patterns that aren't good for you, whatever. Be careful with that. And there may be a lot of sexual energy as well. I mean, it is Scorpio season, so make sure when you're starting this new beginning, you're starting it in a good way, and you're not going from this Taurus full moon that has you empowered, and then right after that, it just dives you into the darkness of Scorpio, which may very well happen. It may be this full moon actually that causes you to cleanse and detox and push away, and then that pushing that away makes your blocks come up, and it brings you into this type of darkness, shadowy side within the Scorpio season. This might have been this little push or this little kicker to push you into the stuff, this tower moment type stuff that's supposed to come up in Scorpio season. And it does. It brings the tower moment. It's meant to help you fly, though. Some of you might have some type of awakening. It will bring you into the darkness. Like she was in the darkness, and then here's her coming out. Makes sense because in your likely outcome from this Taurus full moon stuff that happens, you've got the Hermit, and he's going in. Now, in Scorpio season, she was in the darkness, but she is now coming out. When she comes out, she's done her little inner work, there's temperance, so balance, new alchemy and manifestation, Nine of Pentacles, being abundant, happy, independent, feeling good again, and you have the Star card. So again, being lined on your path, feeling victorious, basically moving on and being free. I don't know. It may cause something with somebody else too to start working on something. But at the very least, I don't know about that. iffy, or it may not come for a little while, but it causes, the most thing I see with it for sure is that it causes a type of internal integration within yourself. So in the beginning of all this, you have the Seven of Wands. So again, Seven of Wands. You got quite a few repeating cards. And really feeling like you're defensive and going against the world. I really feel like in your mind on this, and then you have the World card and you have the Three of Wands. So really when I look at this, it really shows me learning this difference of there's a togetherness here. Like, yes, it's fighting, but there's a togetherness here within community, and then being all alone and waiting and realizing the lesson in this when you go in and do the work that we're really all connected. This level of separation that you felt in your mind within this Taurus moon and well before that even was really all an illusion. I mean, yes, you don't want to feel that way, but the world is about coming full circle and seeing the lesson on it and seeing it all being connected. And the lesson in between these two is one of all togetherness and one of feeling separate and of a lack mentality and waiting on things to come in. Maybe you even feeling like you've done everything you can do and waiting on your results to come in. But either way, seeing the lesson of the illusion of separateness and really realizing that we're all really connected. The separateness is an illusion and it's a fear. And the end result is coming to the Sun in the Five of Swords. So, really seeing where did this idea of separateness come from? And I think where it came from and your shadow side is showing you and illuminating that it probably came from something when you were growing up. This could also come in the sense of there may be stuff going on around you, that there's a lot of masculine power play, very much arguments and conversations of ego versus ego. Sun very much about ego, and this is very much like this male is berating this female in front of the child they're fighting, but also using this child as a pawn during their fighting. You could be realizing that a lot of these beliefs of fear-based and separateness came from when you were a child and what you saw, but it could also be being shown in this reality that this type of thing is going on now. So it could be both. It could be your shadow side is showing you this about your past, it's illuminating it, and or this is literally maybe what's going on in your situation and what you're thinking about. And to clarify that, I got the Fish, which is really about money. And I'm like, well, what is that, And when I looked at the money, I heard root of all evil. And I don't think money is the root of all evil, but I think it's trying to show me that either something's going on in your surroundings or will go on in your surroundings that shows you, it illuminates something for you. Scorpio is very much about seeing the unseen, truths being revealed, your subconscious. So it might really show you what is the root of all this that you feel and is going on. What is the root of this separateness and fear-based mentality that you've been having that has been affecting your actions for so long and keeping you in this pattern? Because when I clarified that, because I just wanted to make sure on the root of all evil thing, I got room, which is really one of, comfort and where you come from, which by the way, it's alone. No one's there. It's empty. And then you have Priest reversed and Enemy upright. So I think it's pretty much to me, that is a confirmation of yes, root of all evil, the things, what basically happened that formed your belief system, basically, I think is what's showing you in your mind. And I think it just comes from like household situations, a union, conversations, like someone who's very strict. And it's just a lot of things about money keep coming up. Like, I don't know if there's a lot of fighting about money that caused issues and breaking up and coming together, and they're never there. And really, a lot of times, you don't really have a lack of money mentality without having a lack of love mentality. A lot of times they tend to go hand in hand. And this has really caused a lot of mental disease, dis-ease, and sadness. And just a lot of things that weren't good. Like, I don't know if it's that, when things were good and then all of a sudden things would become about, greed or lack or, money. And then if, then it would like fall apart and then, or come back together. Something about interactions, money, lack, when things were good, they were good, but when they were bad, they were real bad. And what's connected to money? Like, what does the money have to do? Ego, insecurities, not feeling good enough, power struggle. So, for one, Scorpio and Taurus are the two signs that are about money. Also about control. Scorpio even more a little bit is about power. So really realizing the things that really contributed to either what you saw growing up or what was even in your relationships relating to things about power struggles, control, money, manipulation, insecurities, fear, greed, fights. I really get a lot of, money makes the world go round. Money is power. I get the thought that money makes you feel secure. And really, it's created a prison for you. It was a false reality. And realizing that no matter how much money you make, things just aren't getting better. And maybe a lot of you guys realize or will be realizing your false beliefs based around money. Or that you think if I could just have more money, I'd be happy. If I could just have more money, I'd be happy. Once I get more money, I'll be happy then. And realizing that's not it. That you actually have a lack mentality about money, that there isn't enough going around, and if you don't have it, you won't be happy. It's very much a fear-based mentality, and feeling separated from it. Your energy and your frequency is separated from the energy of money. And if you're separated from the energy of money, you're separated from the energy of love. You're going to feel disconnected, and you're going to feel lonely, and you're going to feel of despair, and you're going to feel like you're always sitting and waiting, and that you never have enough. Nothing's ever good enough. I keep working and working, but I'm always waiting. Why am I working and doing all the things I can do, but I'm always still sitting here waiting? And this is because this is what's in your thought. This is what's in your mind frame. This is your perception. And it's something that you learned when you were younger. And it's manifesting into your relationships now. and it needs to put an end. This is very much a Scorpio vibe. It's a death card vibe, the coffin. Let's move on. I think you guys get where I'm going with that. There's a lot in those, though. The thing about money. A lot of your guys' fears and a lot of people's fears, a lot of things are going to come up. And it's not just going to be money. And it may not even be shown just as money. But it may be love. It may be money. It may be the power, the control, the power struggles, the manipulation, the insecurities, the fears, the not feeling good enough, the never being good enough, the no matter how hard I work, I never have enough. I've got to work really hard just to have enough. So many fear-based mentalities, vows of poverty, of love and money. All right, so now we are moving on. There might have even been divorces, and that might have caused money issues for some of you. Some child support. All right, whatever. What's in your emotional space is needing to make a decision or see something correctly. You have the Two of Swords. I'll just list them off and then go through it. The King of Swords, Judgment, Three of Swords, and Four of Swords. So some decision will be made. You go from the Two of Swords again to the King of Swords, which you have over here. So this is mirroring. A decision was made. And here's somebody handing you this information. So maybe somebody who is really in their emotions or their emotional space. Maybe one person is more calm and the other one is like, blah, 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 blah. But either way, somebody gets communication or an idea. Could be you through a trouble time. It could be someone else is a little bit more emotionally flustered. But a decision is made based on this information and clarifying that, like, here's the two paths, upright, reverse, the decision is made. And because some type of clarity is seen. Realizing, you know, again, things about your childhood, but making a judgment call. Also about seeing where you've come thus far in your life. What has dictated or affected your life up until now, seeing what's affected your life up until now and the decisions you've made, and then now looking at your decisions and deciding to go this way or this way. Do I want to do this? Do I not? Getting this clarity on which way it goes and looking at your life and your decisions you've made and realize, now that I've learned what I've learned, do my decisions still resonate with me? Am I on my path? Because this can cause a huge perception change, like this huge awakening. Like, look at all this light. When you realize this level, this is why a lot of people don't like to do this type of work. Sometimes you can't help it though. It's a little forced upon you. But because it's a lot of work, it changes your life sometimes. And, you know, this is kind of having a wake-up call to make that judgment of, I've put a lot of work based on this other perception I have, and then now something comes in that shows you what's been ruling or dictating your decisions and your patterns and your beliefs and your structures and everything about it in life. And now you're seeing something differently. you're seeing something differently and you're wanting to go in a healthier, more abundant direction. One that really brings you happiness and success. Like you see something now. Something that you didn't see before. Maybe something that's been dictating your thoughts, your perception, your patterns. Yeah. And you now know really what you want. You now really know what you're aligned with. And you go towards that, which really is what makes you feel like you're at home. What makes you feel comfortable. So for some people, this could be going towards someone who feels like home or family and wanting to improve that situation. For some people, this could literally be putting an end to a home family situation because of what you've seen and what you've realized. And now that you can't unsee what you saw, type 5. You can't go back. You can't go backwards now that you've seen what you've seen, and realizing that it's not really aligning with who you are and what you really want, that a lot of what you thought you wanted was based on what you saw growing up. It was misperceptions of what you saw growing up, and it was like almost like you see the illusion of it. It wasn't real. Or that it wasn't real for you and it's not what you wanted. It's what you put in your mind as success and what you wanted, and realize that you've been fooling yourself. You've been deceiving yourself that it wasn't really what you wanted, and it doesn't really look like success to you anymore. Your version of success and what you want in happiness now look different. And I don't know, like I said, some of you might be going towards your families. I get that very, very little. I think some of it might be going towards something else that feels like home to you that you didn't think at one time. Maybe that you've even been thinking or wishing about from afar. And you may be ending and leaving whatever situation, whether it's family or whatever, leaving whatever situation you've been in to do that. It might be a little bit heartbreaking for you. It might even be going to a situation that was or is heartbreaking for you with this 3 of Swords. I mean, I don't want to go that route. It might be something in your past that hurt you or broke your heart that you could be healing from. Wanting to strategize towards too, but you may actually realize something not only about your past from like your childhood that will be healing. Yeah, okay. That makes me feel I didn't want to go the other route. But something from your childhood, at some point in your childhood, that really affected your stability and made you not see things properly. It might be about your mother. It might be about a female. It could be father. It could be love. Like, this is very much a Venus card. It may be in your past or it may even be now. But either way, there's a level of healing that comes from this. But a decision is made. Show me about the Three of Swords. Yeah, I mean, healing. I mean, good things come from it, whatever it is, even if it hurts for a minute. It either will hurt at first and then bring you healing, or it will just bring you healing. But you will definitely get healthier and stronger. In the outcome part of this, or the likely outcome part, you have the Two of Pentacles. So this is a balance, and a balance between opposing forces. So not only are you more balanced, but you're more balanced physically to spiritually. Again, showing the making of a decision, but a decision between opposing forces, a balance between opposing forces. So finding really that balance within yourself. And then you have the Ace of Swords. And this is really about, obviously making a decision. This moon is in manifestation mode. There is some type of smoldering smoke fire here. So making a decision to start something new or manifest something new, which is exactly like what was also shown in your emotional space. And the next card after that is the Two of Cups reversed. But clarifying that is you have the High Honors in sad news. So either something that at one time wasn't going well for you is now getting better. Sad news could also be about clearing out space for something better to come. But I just really get the vibe that something about the balance in whatever you figure out and the decision you made is about deciding to make a decision better. It could bring you the Ten of Pentacles vibe. It could even be about family. It could be what you invest your time in, which could be work. Where your loyalties lie, where you want to invest your time. It's whatever's important to you. I mean, it could literally be about you now being happy and abundant because you're free to do whatever you want. It could be about you being able to focus on your money. You could be focusing more on your family now. After the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Six of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles again. So, I mean, you definitely have abundance coming your way. Balance, even give and take. Are you giving to yourself as much as you're giving outwardly? Are you getting from others in your relationships as much as you're getting back? Working together with others, now creating, maybe even like really working on things with your job a lot too. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things about focusing on money here. There's a lot of things about money here, because even up what you learned, there's a lot of things about money up at the top, and then down at the bottom, I'm getting a lot of vibes. Like you might just focus on yourself. You might not even focus on love for a little while and just focus on yourself and making things better within yourself. and a change and doing something different. I think it's really focusing on yourself, manifesting, getting yourself together, getting your mind right, getting your money right. If you have a creative venture or something you want to do, doing that, just creating a better balance within yourself. Creating that balance between opposing forces and what you want, what you don't want. Finding that balance after figuring out all this information. Like, a lot of this information or stuff that you figure out during Scorpio season may really knock you a little bit off your game or a little bit off track. Make you see a lot of your blocks and your obstacles, things that you didn't see correctly, but now you do, and it will get better, but you've got to create balance in between. So whatever situation, you know, you might either work on improving one, or you might just let it go and be improved after that. I get for a lot focusing on your balance and your money and your creations. Somebody's really starting to focus on themselves and get this level of balance and healing. This is judgment. What decision is made? I think really, yeah, working on yourself and working on your money. Not focusing on love. Or if you are, you're just having fun with it. There might be a lot of people involved and you're just having fun and you're partying and you're focusing on yourself and getting yourself together. And just focusing on healing, balancing, cutting out things that don't serve you, and really focusing on maybe doing things right this time. Like focusing on yourself and your money and your creative venture, and realizing that you want to put your energy into things that are going to build and be good for you, and not things that are going to end up sabotaging you in the end or creating blocks or obstacles. Kind of doing things a healthier way for yourself this time. Because I feel like the old way you've been doing it has created a lot of hostilities and difficulties for you. And you're coming to a place now where you just want good things. You want victory. You want smoothness and to feel on top of your game again. And you realize that the way you've been taking action and what you've been focusing on, you've been taking action on the wrong things. Let's put it that way. And I think you realize that now, and I think you realize why you have and where all that stemmed from. So let's pull an oracle card real quick, and I think that'll be that. I'm trying to get this before the time goes out. Yeah, this is going to change you very quickly. Give me a card. Scorpio season. Scorpio season. That's funny. So it's the same card. Is it? No, but it's very close to the one that was for the Taurus full moon. It's growing up, wanting to grow and experience, rejection of perpetual youth, and lead the way, be a leader, show others how it's done. You can help others. So this is very much about doing your own thing. You are rare and free. There are not many like you. Like, somebody takes their freedom and their sovereignty back. They grow up, they learn their lesson from this. They realize what happened in their youth that is holding them back. And I think this really aligns you with your healing journey and your mission. Like, you're starting your mission, you're starting your stuff, and you're starting to really look and focus on you and be in the present and find out who you are and know where you want to go. So that's amazing. I love you guys. I hope this helps you. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, put in the comments, let me know what you guys think. Get through this. You know, it's all for the better in the end. I mean, 10 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. Look in the description box below for all information about personal reading sessions, whatever, all my services, donations, email, all of that. Everything's down there. I love you guys. I'll be seeing you soon. Just keep going.